Hello, Purple Rosa here, and I'll be starting the Markarth main story quest, which I'm really excited to start after all we learnt in the prologue quest, which was that Verandis was a part of the Greyhost, but not officially, as he wanted to work with mortals and live with them in peace, whereas the Greyhost leaders, mainly Rada al-Saran, wanted to rule over mortals and be as their gods. So they had a falling out there, and we were able to bring Verandis back to life, me and Gwendis, because he had his essence in an old grey reliquary, and he is going to help us put a stop to Rada al-Saran. And in the prologue quest we also learnt from that dream walk by talking to Zengalis that Rada found a relic here in the Reach somewhere, which I think that's why he's here, but I'm not sure though, but that's just my opinion, and I guess we'll see. So yeah, Verandis is just up ahead, and I'm hoping that we also work with Lyris again, and of course Venorian, my favourite character. And yeah, let's get this started.
Be off, Reeker! Ard Kadok refuses to see you. Now go, before I gut you.
The Ard needs to hear what I have to say, my friend. It is imperative that we speak.
Yes! We must speak.
Move along, outsider, before I put a buzzard hole in you!
Hey, come in peace. So yeah, the Markarth was overtaken by the Reachmen, so I'm really excited to work with them and learn more about their culture, because I don't think that they're all bad. Just the Nords paint them in a bad light because they're at war. And they worship, I'm not going to say hag ravens, but they work with hag ravens, which are seen as bad, but yeah, I guess we'll see and learn more about them.
Well, good to see you, my friend. I could use an ally in this desolate place. The Greyhost has turned his attention upon the Reach, but the local ruler refuses my help. This so-called Despot of Markarth thinks walls and sentries will hold back their fury.
The Despot of Markarth?
Ard Kadok. He rules the Reach from Understone Keep in Markarth. I've come to offer my help against the Greyhost, but he has turned me away time and time again. Meanwhile, even here, in the shadow of the city, the Greyhost plots and conspires.
Interesting. So, tell me more about the Greyhost. Hear it from the man who knows best about them.
It's an alliance of vampires, witches, and werewolves bent on slaughter and destruction. To protect the Reach, I need to learn why the Greyhost has come here, and I need to secure the cooperation of Ard Kadok. Would you be willing to help me?
Of course! I'd do anything for you and the Raven Watch. I'm glad he's back. I'll help figure out what the Greyhost is planning and get you in to see the Despot of Markarth.
With your help, we may save the Reach yet. While I continue to exert diplomatic pressure, I need you to find information the Ard will consider valuable. Something concerning the rebels that plague his rule, perhaps. Start by talking to the sentry.
How will information help us get an alliance with Ard Kadok?
Reach folk deal in bargains. They respect strength and skill, and they believe in rewarding favors. If we can bring something important to the Ard while demonstrating these qualities, I think he'll agree to hear us out.
Hopefully. You really want to work with someone called the Despot of Markarth? Yeah, that's a good point.
If we're to stop the Greyhost and help the Reach, we don't have a choice. At the very least, we need his resources and support. In my time here, I have heard about these rebels, but I'm not sure the extent of their rebellion. See what you can learn.
I'll see what I can learn about the rebels and their rebellion.
Remember, remain respectful but wary when dealing with Reach folk. They don't suffer long speeches, not even short ones. Keep your conversation with the sentry brief and to the point. Once you find something, meet me in Markarth at Understone Keep.
Why has the Greyhost come to the Reach? For that relic, I guess.
This Greyhost is somehow connected to the army that ravaged the land in the First Era. Like their ancient counterpart, I assume they seek to conquer and destroy. I need to learn more to know for sure. Meanwhile, we must get the Reach to prepare.
I'm sure Gwyneth, Fenorian, and Dusa have brought him up to speed on what's going on since he's been back alive. But the Reach folk are barbarians, aren't they?
No, of course not. I won't mince words. The Reachmen are a stubborn and unruly people. They resort to violence at the least provocation, but despite the opinion of most civilized Tamriel, they aren't frothing barbarians.
Yeah, they just put it in a bad light, and I hope what we learn from them and working together with them will change my opinion of them. They're not?
The Reach folk possess a distinct culture that you'll see during your time here. They also enjoy the same capacity for virtue and evil as Bretons, Nords, and the other peoples of Tamriel. Animal skins don't make one a barbarian. Actions do.
True. Tell me more about the Despot of Markarth.
An appellation he earned, as I understand it. Ardkadik is said to be ruthless and powerful, a cruel leader who seeks the ruin of Tamriel and the death of any who reject the spirits, or what you and I call the Daedric Princes.
Is any of that true?
That he's a king of broken antlers and carrion crows who eats the hearts of his enemies and hunts children for sport? Perhaps. But the legend always overshadows the reality. Kadok's legend is a mix of Daggerfall insults and Reach superstitions.
Yeah. Could all be a lie, and he just told the story to make people fear him. Do you know anything about Ardkadik that's true?
He's a canny leader who applies both caution and brutality in equal measure. He calls himself Ard, the king of the fort, but his rule isn't absolute. Most Reach clans respect him, however. His help will be crucial in the battles ahead.
Okay. Despite that, it is good to see you again, Verandis.
And you as well. I only wish we weren't in the midst of yet another crisis. I formed the Raven Watch to deal with this type of eventuality, but even with centuries to prepare, I find myself caught off guard. And Kadok's stubbornness doesn't help.
Well, not even you could predict that Rada El-Saran would survive that battle from long ago. He was thought to be dead. Have you made any other discoveries since your return to Greyhome?
Yes, but too few. We tracked Rada Al-Saran to the Reach and found the place crawling with Greyhost warriors. He's here for a reason, and I think it goes beyond simple conquest, but the truth of his motives elude me.
Yeah, as I said, in the dream walk we did in the prologue quest, Singalis mentioned a relic that Rada found here in the Reach. So, I think that's why he's here. What this relic is, I have no idea. So, yeah. Great to see Verandis again. I'm glad he's alive.
Didn't you hear? You and that fancy bastard aren't welcome here. Get! Or I'll make a scarf out of your guts!
Hey! Greyhost has come to the Reach. Count Verandis wants to help stop them.
We know all about the Blood Drinkers and the Beast Folk. We were dealing with them just fine before Ardkadik called us back to Markarth. The Witch Rebels are a bigger threat, along with outsiders who try to get into our business.
Ah, the Witch Rebels. That must be the Ice Reach Coven. So, I guess they're against what the Reach Folk and Ardkadik are for? Witch Rebels?
Some wilder witch has been stirring up the clans to the east of Markarth, making trouble for Ardkadik. But we'll have her head on a pike soon enough. Look, if you want to see the Ard, then bring news he doesn't know. Something about the rebels.
So, sounds like these Reach folk have different clans, but not all clans agree. So there's witch rebels. So I'm gonna go in. Well, not in. Because she won't let me in to Markarth. So I've got to gather information. So yeah. Be interesting to see. Oh, look at Markarth. Be interesting to see more about the Reachmen and learn more about them. Who's this? A Reach guard. But if all Reachmen are like that sentry, yeah, they're not very friendly. The outsiders, at least.
Stay here as long as you like. I'm done waiting for Ardkadic to muster the clans.
Are you now? And what do you plan to do about it? Join those rebels? You wouldn't have the first clue about how to find them.
That's where you're wrong. Connell says they're gathering in the eastern foothills.
Well, then your head can wind up on a pike with the rest of them, you damn fool.
Okay. So they don't agree with Ardkadic, I guess.
Stay back. If you're one of those invaders, be aware that my fellow rebels are right behind the bend.
I'm interested in learning more about these rebels.
You are? Well, I haven't actually gone and joined them yet. I was just about to head for their camp, but... well, I don't know exactly where it is. Just that it lies to the east in the foothills. Or so I was told. Oh, I said too much. Go away!
Okay. And you have said too much.
Away, stranger. I don't deal with outsiders.
Okay. I'm not like other outsiders, though. Being a dark elf, kind of out of place here. So he mentioned the camp was to the east, these rebels. Who are obviously, yeah, against Ardkadic and want to work with the Greyhost or just change the leadership, I don't know. Kind of see Markarth from all the way here. Got the towers up there. I kind of briefly looked at it, but it was brief. Oh, camp. Greyhost Intelligence Dispatch. Brothers and sisters, our spies in Markarth report that members of the Witches' Rebellion have infiltrated the city. They gather in homes and street corners, urging their filthy kin to leave the city and join them in the hills to the east. No normal, self-respecting mortal would trade a warm house for a bare-skinned hovel. But as our Ashen Lord routinely reminds us, the Reach folk are neither normal nor self-respecting. We cannot allow any Reach folk to evacuate the city. Any barbarian found wandering the hills and forests of this god-forsaken land is fair game. Let those rebels fear the woods and flee the night. The sooner they die, the sooner our plans come to fruition. Bound in blood, Pentarch Hoturing. Oh, so the rebels are against the Greyhost. So maybe we'll be working with the witches that are part of the rebellion. Scary Tales of Druidak. Welcome back, dear reader, to another volume of Scary Tales. This time we explore the remote wilds of the Reach, specifically the fierce and uninviting Jordak Mountains area. The barbaric Reach folk are reclusive and perplexing as they are dangerous, and these tales were not gathered without significant risk. Yet once again, through your seasoned storyteller's charm, quick wit, and ability to run very fast, I have escaped to bring you, my readers, in the Imperial City and beyond. Accounts of the unconfirmed and the unexplained. Now settle in, grab a drink, light your lantern, and read on if you dare. The Wolf of the Daedric Howl. Our first account of the unexplained comes from survivors of a Redguard merchant caravan who endured a callous calamity of cataclysmic proportions while hauling a load of fine rugs and carpets from Dragonstar to Solitude. Our soon-to-be imperiled group of unsuspecting carpet carriers set out from Dragonstar at the end of Rain's Hand, hoping to take advantage of a shortage of noble finery in Solitude that particular season. The caravan consisted of 2 crown merchants protected by 8 seasoned sellswords led by Captain Hakmir, the Blade of Bergama. The merchants told of an odyssey that seemed cursed from the start. Not a moment after they crossed the border into the Reach, their caravan was beset by the worst of storms, a steady driving rain that continued for days on end. Even the Redguard wagons and their sturdy horses, strong and hardy from dragging wagons through the sand, had trouble keeping pace in the mirthless and muddy conditions. Despite the best efforts of caravanners and horses, the caravan fell days behind. Yet this troubling inconvenience became all the more sinister when 2 of Captain Hakmir's sellswords vanished in the night. There was no call of alarm from the vanished, and no bodies found the next day, yet the night before their fellows vanished, all the caravan survivors recall waking to the mournful howl of a single wolf. It was a howl so terrifying and dreadful that it woke all who huddled fitfully in their rain-soaked tents. It left them awake long after the howl faded, a howl they said like a Daedra's roar. The rain slacked by morning, yet search as they might, the other 6 members of the caravan's escort simply could not find any footprints or other signs of their missing brethren. 2 seasoned crown warriors simply vanished, as if taken by the very storm that plagued the caravan or taken by a Daedric wolf. The lead merchant counselled caution. Should the caravan turn back? But Captain Hakmir, confident in his skills and determined to find his missing soldiers, assured the merchants they could press ahead. So press ahead they did, only to have the driving storm replaced by the worst of fogs. One merchant told your chronicler that the fog grew so thick she couldn't see her fingers in front of her face. Worse, the survivors shared were the howls. Brazen and unrelenting, the same terrifying howl that had awoken the caravan the night the first sellsword disappeared was heard again and again during the day, erupting from the fog and always too far away to trace. The sellswords closed ranks, cursing and muttering among themselves, awaiting to defend themselves. But no attack came. As the caravan plodded on, they grew certain the howling was just some wicked trick of the Reach. The barbaric clans of the Reach would never dare attack 6 crown Redguards on the road. Such seasoned warriors would not be taken by surprise again. The night after the fog rolled in, Captain Hakmir declared that his sellswords would sleep in ships, 3 on and 3 off until first light. His plan seemed sound until, once again in the darkest of the fog-filled night, the wolf's Daedric howl split the night. All in the camp awoke at once, and Captain Hakmir called to his soldiers in the dark, yet none responded. With the grimmest of glares, the Blades of Bergama ordered his last 2 soldiers not to leave the caravan under any circumstances, then drew his giant blade. Hakmir strode into the fog to face the Daedric wolf and learn the fate of his companions. And the brave Captain Hakmir, your tarried teller of tales must tragically report, never returned. The fog remained the next morning, joined by another forceful rain, and soon an axle on one of the hardy Redguard wagons snapped. How could this be? The wagons were repaired and fortified in Dragonstar before they departed. Left with the prospect of plodding on for 2 weeks, beset by storms, fog, and this wraith-like wayward wolf, the crown merchants made the decision to abandon their wagons and rush on to solitude by horse. Carpets and silk, they declared, were not worth the deaths of those still alive. As soon as the party left the wagons, riding 2 astride each horse, with the last animal carrying what possessions they could salvage, the deadly fog lifted. A tense 4 days later, the survivors arrived in solitude, bereft of their abandoned wealth, but otherwise unharried and unharmed. Captain Hackmere and the 6 brave sellswords who vanished have not been heard from since. Only the memory of the Daedric wolf remains, seared into the minds of all who heard the howl. A wolf made of storm and fog, stealing the unwary in the night and then vanishing, like its victims, into the shadows of the Jordak Mountains. Interesting. Didn't expect that story to be so in-depth. What's this strange fog? And this Daedric wolf. So that's a quest. Come back to that later. Yeah, what's happening up there? But get this last information we have to gather. And maybe go back to Verandis. See.
Damn witch rebels are as bad as the damn vampires.
What happened?
Get away from me, you reeker. You think a reach warrior with only one good leg can't cut you? Well, think again.
I'm not your enemy. Just want to know what happened to you. Was it the Greyhost?
The Greyhost? Does it look like I've been bitten or clawed? It was the damn witch rebels. And they can't tell a reach folk from a monster any better than you can. They thought I was one of those invaders. Spirits take the lot of them.
The witch rebels are hunting the Greyhost?
Aye, like a pack of wild dogs they were. Kept shouting, Arana, Arana, as they bore down on me. I took an arrow in the leg before they listened to me. Before they decided I wasn't an invader. I think Arana spoke to me. I think she was their leader.
Any idea where the rebels came from?
No, like ghosts these rebels are. I plan to return to Markarth and petition the Ard to let me take a war party out to find them. They must be hiding in the eastern foothills. I don't care if they are fighting the Greyhost. They're mine.
Good luck with that. So, sounds like these witch rebels don't really have a plan. They just want to kill. The translated works of Tosmor. Looks like just some poems.
I'm told that I look like a chipmunk. Maybe I was a chipmunk and I never knew it. Or maybe I'm a chipmunk trapped in a Bosma body.
Okay. You keep believing that. So, Verandis said to meet him in Understone. So I guess going to Markarth? So yeah, the Reach have taken over this place. Talk to some, if we can. Find out more about them. Did he say Understone Keep was powerless? Yeah, that's right. So, go talk to him now.
I've seen Ardcaddock himself walking about. Always has half a dozen of his stone hands at his back. There.
Well, he is the leader. So, needs to be protected from assassins. I do wonder what this Ardcaddock is like, though.
The city could use more trees. Needs greenery. Those old dwarves must have hated trees and sky. Built their cities of stone and buried them deep underground.
Yep.
You probably want to talk to my brother, Tazim. He's the one in charge.
Who are you?
I know. You are surprised to see a Red Guard here in the Reach. But I'm a trader, and my business takes me to many different places.
Makes sense. Doesn't matter who you trade with.
One of the reasons I signed on as Tazim's bodyguard was to see Markarth. Not sure I would want to stay here all the time, but it is impressive.
She's got badly burnt. Looks painful.
I haven't slept in days. Wait. Yes, I have. I slept all day yesterday.
They must be daily quests, people that you talk to, I'm not sure. So, yeah, this place is magnificent. So, Verandis is here.
Yeah, my friend. Was your hunt successful?
It was.
You couldn't have timed your arrival any better. Ardkadak holds court as we speak. We'll never have a better chance to gain an audience with him. Did your investigation uncover anything we can use? What did you learn?
The rebel leader might be Arana. They're gathering in the eastern hills.
Arana? I have heard that name during my time here. Did you happen to learn what these rebels are rebelling against?
Not exactly, but they have spies in the city, urging people to flee to the hills.
Flee the city? With a Greyhost prowling the countryside? Well, that's 3 valuable pieces of information. I want you to represent me before Ardkadak. Explain what you learned and convince him to finally agree to meet with me.
Why me? No, we've had experience with royalty before, but technically Ardkadak's not royalty, he's just their leader. So if the rebels, we don't really know what they're rebelling against, but if that letter we read, the Greyhost wants people to stay in the city? Do they have another Harrowstorm planned? Who knows? I'll present my findings and try to convince Ardkadak to meet with you.
Speak with the Ard Sentry. You'll need to convince her to gain an audience with Kadak. I think the information you uncovered about the rebels will be enough to interest the Despot of Markarth, but you can never be too certain with Reach folk.
Why don't you come with me to speak to Ardkadak?
I'm lucky to have made it this far into the city. Kadak and his entourage have little patience for a noble such as myself, especially a noble from a land they consider to be the home of their enemy. No, this task is better in your hands.
But you live in Rivenspire with the Bretons. Maybe they see High King Emric as an enemy? So what will you be doing while I'm trying to see Ardkadak?
I shall wait around here and continue to discreetly learn what I can about the Reach and its people. I also want to think about Arana and her rebels. Maybe there's a way to add them to our arsenal. Go. I'll be here when you get back.
Yeah, I think once we learn what the rebels are trying to do, they might be good allies. Okay, Ardkadak, it is.
You again? You dare to disgrace Understone Keep with your presence, outsider? That takes guts, I'll give you that. What's your business in the Ard's Keep?
I bring information from Count Verandis concerning the witch rebel.
Do you now? And you want to share that information with Ardkadak? You're certainly full of surprises, outsider. All right, I'll allow you to approach the throne, if your courage holds out. Fair warning, the Ard's in a foul temper today.
Ugh, great. I understand.
Not yet you don't, but you will. Ardkadak's as likely to remove your head from your shoulders as listen to you, so talk fast, outsider. And remember, The Ard has no patience for fools or flatterers. Keep that in mind.
But I'm good at flattering people. Fine. Guess I'll just tell him the truth. Okay. So the throne room is up here. Wow. They've really made this place their home. Lady Blaine.
If the sentry allowed you to enter the throne room, you must have news to share with Ard Caddick. So why are you talking to me? Making the Ard wait is unwise.
Who are you? So that's the Ard.
What fool do I have to behead for letting you in here? You're not of the Reach or the clans. You've either got the sense of a goat or the heart of a saber cat, and I'm eager to find out which. Now, speak plainly. What brings you to the Despot of Markarth?
I like to think I have the heart of a saber cat. I bring information about the witch rebels from Count Verandis Ravenwatch.
The fancy elf, who won't take no for an answer, eh? Yeah, he should have made this offer earlier. News concerning the rebels is a beast worth skinning. Tell me something I don't know, and won't have you fed to my hunting dogs.
Okay, they have spies in the city, urging your people to flee to the eastern foothills.
Spies? In my city? Well, that would explain some things, but that and a vague location aren't enough to get me to sit down and drink with a high elf. What else have you got? And remember, my patience is wearing thin.
Yeah, you said that before. I think the leader of the witch rebels is named Arana.
Arana? I know that name. She's a honey-tongued fanatic who refused to bury her sword when I forged a peace with the Greyhost. She's slippery, eh? But I didn't realize she led the rebels. Sniffing out a Reach witch. That commands respect. For now.
Ah, so Ard Caddick's made peace with the Greyhost. You and me, not enemies, but I'm watching you. Did you say you made peace with the Greyhost?
Aye. They agreed to spare the city while they look for some ancient relic. Dwarven, I suspect. They can have it. Verandis wants to meet? Then talk to my advisor, Lady Blaine. Track down Arana for her, and I'll listen to every word he has to say.
Yeah, I was right. What Singala said was true after a relic. Alright, I'll speak to Lady Blaine. Your advisor. She is a vampire, I think.
I couldn't help but overhear Ard Caddick's voice. It carries. Now tell me about the leader of the witch rebels. The name you provided? Arana, I believe you said?
Yes, Ard Caddick asked me to help you find her.
Ah, therein lies the problem. Reach witches are experts at losing themselves in the many caves and copses that decorate the landscape. It's like finding a tooth in a hen's beak. Most witches give deference to the Ard. Arana is a troublemaker.
I like how, the Reach have witches, but they don't see the witches as evil or bad, and not all witches are. But I suppose it's like the Nords, they have their court mages and stuff like that. So Ard Caddick wants you to find her.
Actually, that task falls to you. A favor for a favor, yes. That's how business works here. Locate the rebels. Find Arana and urge her to stop meddling in Markarth's affairs. Do that, and you shall earn a place for you and your count in the Reach.
Oh, so you don't want me to kill her? Not like I want to, but yeah. I guess they hold their witches in high esteem. Even if they are misguided. I'll find Arana.
That look on your face. I know curiosity when I see it. Very well. I can spare a few more moments before sending you off on your task. What does the outsider in Ardcadic's court wish to know?
You look as out of place in this court as I do.
While I may not have been born and raised in the Reach, I have earned my place as friend and counselor to Ardcadic. His subjects call me a keep witch. I assure you, this is a term of the utmost respect among the Reach folk.
So how did you wind up at Ardcadic's side?
A genuine desire for peace brought me here. The Reach finds itself beset from all sides. Orcs, Nords, Bretons, Imperials, they all seek the destruction of the Reach folk. I try to serve as a bridge of sorts.
A bridge?
Yes. A bridge between the Reach and the civilized world. There's simply no reason that the people of Tamriel should go on killing each other. We have an opportunity to build a kinder, better Tamriel. I'm here to help make that future come to pass.
Nothing wrong with that, but... yeah, I'm wary of this Lady Blaine. So what's the rebellion all about?
What is any rebellion all about? Malcontents chafing against the established order, stirring up trouble. They're a nuisance, nothing more.
If they're just a nuisance, why do you want me to find Arana?
It's a matter of timing. Since the arrival of the Greyhost, the land beyond the city walls has become perilous. The Ard urges everyone to take shelter here in Markarth, while Arana calls them away. Her reckless endeavor will get everyone killed.
Well, is it reckless? You can't trust the Greyhost. I'm watching you, Lady Blaine, as well as Ardcadic. I thought Ardcadic said he made peace with the Greyhost.
Peace, yes, of a sort. As long as we stay out of their way, the Greyhost has no quarrel with us. Besides, the walls of Markarth are impregnable. The Reach folk are perfectly safe in here. Now go, find Arana. A favor performed is a favor returned.
I don't think the Reach folk is safe in Markarth. After that letter we found, they're planning something. And it's not just about this relic they're after. Tell me about Ardcadic.
A history lesson? Very well. Caddic is the cousin of the late Emperor Leovic. He was appointed ruler of Markarth and has governed this region ever since.
I've heard him called both Ard and the Despot of Markarth.
Ard is an ancient title that translates to King of the Fort. The fort being Markarth and Understone Keep. As for that other epithet, it's a name given to him by enemies and outsiders. He may be cruel at times, but he's no tyrant.
Why isn't he just called the King of the Reach?
Reach folk have a saying. Anyone can be a king in the Reach. No one can be a king of the Reach. Few Reach folk will accept a true sovereign. It isn't in their nature. Of course, that makes Caddic's attempts to safeguard this region, complicated.
I can imagine. But yeah, I'm watching you two. I'm watching. But Lady Blaine, she seems well educated, but I think she's a vampire. She's just got a disguise on. So now we have to find these witch rebels for Ardcaddock. Continue this on in the next one. Thanks for watching.